clarify what we're talking about. So, I want to spend the last part of my time here just talking about, what does the rest of 2022 look like for the housing market? Because we are starting to hear about slowdowns, nationally. Obviously, it's hitting here a little bit as well, starting to see more price reductions. We're getting more builder inventory and things of that nature. So, what does the rest of 2022 look like for the housing market? Let's remember these are national numbers. So, numbers of listings increasing for our market, most likely. We're staying closer to the same, but we are seeing more come on. My 7-day tally from last week, I was seeing 1,200 homes come on the market with 9 to 1,000 being sold, where several months ago it was 1,000 being sold and only 700 or 500 coming on the market.
Right.
So, but it's really balancing out more than swaying one way or another. But I'm going to give you three reasons, three topics here of the 2022 housing market to kind of give you insight. So first of all, we are predicting realtor.com, and we are seeing that listings are increasing. I talked last week, Amy is getting emails every day, phone calls every day from new builds, from builders, sales reps with new construction inventory. This email after email, inventory is coming up in August, September, that third and fourth quarter. So, and here's the data to show it. It's been increasing every month over the time period. But if you've been watching Chris and I's, market reports over these last 6 months, the Dallas-Fort Worth market, we're still been losing inventory. Up until, last week, I think we started seeing that tick up barely, but we didn't go from half a month to a month. We went from half a month to, 0.6 a month.
Yeah, 5/8.
All right, our next slide. Want to look at home ownership and how it's a hedge against inflation. That is another thing we're constantly hearing is our inflation. And if you don't know, what inflation is, basically when your pricing of all your consumer goods is going up. So in the 70s, we saw inflation of 7.1%, but home price appreciation outraced it, and you got 9.9% appreciation in your home. So the point here is you took money out of other investments and you put it into a home. You probably made more money on your home than you would of those other investments. In the 80s, it was very much, the same, appreciation to inflation. If you look at the 90s, you got a percentage point over inflation. So just like we showed in the other chart, during other times, home evaluation is still the best place, or home investment is probably still your best investment. No, it's not liquid where you can turn it over overnight, but we are getting there. If we jump to 2021, last year, we saw 6.8% inflation. And this is where the talk has really been coming up. We haven't seen price increases in our consumer goods like this, for years and years.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can see it, but we've talked and we saw 19% home valuations while we were seeing 6.8% in inflation. So although you were paying more for your gas and your food, your home was gaining more and more appreciation during that time period. So this, for me, is just basically to let you know out there that just because we're seeing price increases on all the other goods, you're also seeing it on your most important asset, your home. So you can sleep a little better at night, I would think, with knowing this.
Yeah.
And lastly, the experts say that prices will keep rising This is a 5-year forecast. Chris and I was talking earlier. He can forecast this, and this is pretty much the same stats he gave us a couple of weeks ago, I believe. But you saw in 2022, we had a national average of a 9% appreciation, home price increasing. 2023, it's predicted to be nearly 5%, then nearly 4%, and then level off in that 3.5% over 25 and years 2026. And I always like to say in our market, we're probably going to see 11 to 12 this year, and then we'll probably see anywhere from 5 to 6 in these other years. So well, that's just the forecast from the experts. I'm not the expert. I just study them and relay the message. So, but what this tells me is buying a home still good? Yes. Is it still a good time to sell? Yes. You've got lots of equity in your home, more than you probably ever had. You can use that to upgrade and move into that next part of your life.